Mm. It was about 2 weeks ago, something now. I'd been in bed and I came downstairs and wandered in here to sit on my laptop, and the laptop wasn't there. Mother was, I think I'd argued with her or said something annoying to her, and she decided that was that and took my laptop away, which hit me in the guts at the time. Just about coming to terms with it now. So yeah, they all went off to bed, and I took quite a lot of magic truffles. I don't know how much I took, maybe I'd say about 12 grams or so. And well, I was sat watching a film, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. And I was like, I'd taken small doses before this. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. The film's quite entertaining. And then about an hour after I took them, I looked in the mirror, and there was like a certain amount of shifting in the mirror, which was a bit unnerving. I carried on looking at the TV, and all was still okay. So yeah. I don't know, it must have been an hour and a half or something. It began to really kick in. I was it just battered me in the guts like a massive emotional kick in the guts. I became so upset about the recent fire at my house and my dog dying, and the situation I was now in with my mum, and yeah, I was crying like a motherfucker sat on this settee. And then I looked at the carpet, and the carpet was, I don't know what it's called, fractals or what, but there's like all shapes in the carpet moving around. And I looked at the TV, and the TV was just completely frantic. I couldn't look at it. I just looked at it and then had to look away. Yeah, so I decided I would roll some cigarettes and go outside and smoke a load of cigarettes. So I went outside with the cigarettes, and I'm not sure whether I was extra sensitive or I took a massive drag, but I had like one draw on this cigarette and was coughing everywhere, and started to throw the cigarette away after one massive drag of it. And I came back inside, and I was looking at the floor in the kitchen. It's like these white linoleum. It looks kind of like fake tiles. And now I was tripping like a motherfucker. There was all sorts of shapes just and the shapes were kind of cool, but it was just all overwhelmed by this massive emotional kick of of my shitty situation I was in, like over the last few days and what happened, and yeah, the shapes didn't bother me either way. It seemed kind of irrelevant. This is probably about, yeah, it must have been about 2 hours. I mean, that's 2.5 hours after I'd taken the mushroom, truffles. I just became exhausted looking at the floor and thought I have to go to bed. And I took all my clothes off and got in bed. I had my big jug of water and I felt better once I was in bed, but it comes over you in waves of epic trauma. And then it passes, and then each wave is slightly less severe than the one before. I thought it was kind of like probably what a person with schizophrenia felt like when I was lying in bed with these thoughts. Just they would build and build in a kind of random, arbitrary manner. It was like something so trivial that would just totally subsume you, and you just felt like you were going to be ruined by this train of thought, and then you'd take a big lungful of air and it would pass and you'd be like, whew. Take a drink, you'd be like, oh, I'm okay, and then it would slowly build again. Of course, I had my clock on my bed, and I remember seeing Dave Chappelle thing saying about he took magic mushrooms and he went for a run around the block and listened to an album and did a lot of other shit, and then when he looked at the clock after doing all that, it was like 2 minutes had passed. It's like time is slowed right down. So I spent maybe 2 hours in bed feeling pretty crazy. And then, yeah, after being in bed 2 hours, the effects had pretty much, I mean, I could still feel it, but I was back to myself to some extent. And then I think I slept for an awful long time, probably. I mean, I maybe slept for 12 hours and then got up for a few hours and then slept a lot again. Around the next 36 hours I probably slept like 24 or something. Yeah, it was I wasn't prepared. I was kind of excited about taking them from what I'd heard about the visual effects, but I was just not prepared for how much it would emotion it would bring out. I just took some again tonight, but about 5 grams, but it was much more pleasant. I was in a much better frame of mind. So yeah, so my experience, my first significant experience with the old psilocybin.